Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Communities Live here on Sheffield Live 93.2 FM. And we have the winner of X Factor 2016, Matt Terry. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What an intro.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to ask you, Matt. We're going to talk a bit about the X Factor. Tell us a bit about why did you think audition for X Factor?
Honestly, I was a waiter at the time and I'd been there for 2.5 years and I didn't want to do it anymore. And I had £4 in my bank account, so I had nothing to lose. That's the
and
real reason.
and I always remember this as well. I always remember that you duetted with Nicole Scherzinger on with a classic song of "Purple Rain" by Prince. Tell us a bit about that.
Oh my God. I mean, yeah, unreal. I say that song really led me to victory. I think that's what did it, if I'm honest. It was a really surreal moment. Um, I know that it was really hard. Obviously, you have to ask permission to sing other people's songs on TV. And luckily, Nicole was connected to Prince's family. So we were able to get permission to do it, um, which is amazing. And yeah, I think that was the song that took
Mm.
me to the finish line.
It is definitely such a classic song as well, and also a very hard song to sing as well. I think.
Definitely. I think it's just like it's an iconic song and obviously really hard to live up to. But I'm really proud of the version that we created together. And yeah, like I said, I think it's such a it's just that song that everybody knows and loves. So it was a no-brainer, really. It's an honor to get to do it.
And do you still keep in touch with any of the judges from the X Factor?
No, I don't actually. I think it's not for any reason other than just life happens. You just sort of move on and go about your life and your career the same everyone does. I think everyone, whatever level you're on, everybody has their own hustle and their own things to keep them busy. And I think, it's it's not yeah, like I said, nothing, no other reason than just life.
As a musician yourself, Matt, who were your main influences? And also, if there was anybody that you could duet with in the near future, who would it be and why?
Yeah, I grew up listening to a lot of Motown, a lot of Barry White, Whitney Houston, The Drifters. It was all that kind of music in our house, Bob Marley. Um, so yeah, that's sort of what I grew up with. And as far as I mean, if I could dream, I'd probably pick somebody like Ariana Grande or like Troye Sivan or somebody like that. Just because I think we'd work well together. I think like we'd be able to write a good song and our voices would really harmonize.
Hmm. You've got a new song called "His Car." So tell us a bit more about that. Did it come together quite quickly, or was it a long process?
Yeah. I think any songwriter will tell you that the best songs are the ones that come the fastest. They almost write themselves. And that was something that happened with his car. We kind of got into the studio. It was just me and my one of my producers, Tim, and we sat at the piano and wrote the song really fast. I think it was about a subject that we both really related to. So it was just, a really quick but also really freeing process. At the end of it, we both played out the demo of the day. At the end of it, we both literally laid on the floor in the middle of the studio and just listened, and we just was like, "Whoa, what have we done?" Like we're really proud of it, and this definitely has to be heard.
For our listeners who want to break into this kind of industry, how difficult is it? And also, what advice would you give to our listeners?
I would say anything is possible. So I don't think we should focus too much on, what is and what isn't. I think it's yours if you want it, and you'll find your own way. And on that note, that would be my advice. Like, I think it's really easy for people to say, I know Robbie Williams did this, and Ariana Grande did that, and Beyonce did this.
Hmm.
Everyone finds their own path, and I think it's about making it, doing your journey, be a racehorse. Like put your blinkers on and get to the finish line in your own without looking at what anyone else is doing would be my advice.
And I mean, how can and also your singles out now? So how can people get a copy of the single? Is it? I know. Will it be on digital platforms? And also for anybody that doesn't have like access to digital platforms, which is quite rare now, but will there be physical copies that people can get?
Yeah, no, currently we don't no physical copies in this world as right now. I think in an ideal world I'd love to release a vinyl, but it's all available everywhere digitally. So you can find the music video on YouTube if you don't have Spotify or Amazon Music or Apple Music or any of those things. It's on YouTube, which is anyone can go to. So just whack it in your www.youtube.com, type in Matt Terry his car, and it'll be there.
And for anybody that has a social media, so do you have social media where people can follow you on?
Absolutely. So Instagram is just Matt Terry, which is probably the main one. Um, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter. But yeah, Instagram is probably where you can find out the most of like day to day.
And my final question for you, Matthew, is what would you like to say? I would like to give the final word to you. So, what would you like to say to our listeners who is listening right now?
I would like to say, first of all, thank you mostly for all the support that I've received so far in the single. It's been so lovely. Um, and it's definitely, my most honest and truest song, as well as everything else that's coming up. So thank you for listening. And if you haven't, please go check it out. It's called His Car. And thank you so much for having me.
Matthew, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, mate.